Okay, I'm just trying to test out that I am live and my voice is visible to everybody. Okay, just give me a moment. Let me just quickly check that and then we can start. Okay, so meanwhile, you are just joining in. Thank you very much for joining in with me. And this is AIKIT support, and we are discussing about learning and doing something special in our life on the IT technology. And if we want to learn IT, and if we want to do something new in and upgrade our skills, which is more important because whenever you are there in IT, so you must upgrade your skills, which is one of the important aspect which we need to focus on, because IT is changing every moment. And today we are going to discuss about a new course, a new live session which we are starting up, that is for this training on Windows Server 2016. So it's a hands-on training, we and it is going to be a live training. So we are going to start it soon, and if anybody is interested, they can really jump in and sign up to this, and it will be a weekly training. And I'm going to really discuss about this Windows Server 2016 training, and it is the time. It is a time where you should really put yourself and upgrade your skill, because there are several things coming on. And I know I was thinking about really try to push it for 2019, but let's start with 2016, and we will be adding on few things later in as 2019 as well in this course. So I can see there are a few people joined in with me, so thank you very much for being there. And today we will be discussing about our live course which we are starting up for Windows Server 2016. And if you are interested, this is basically a training system for Windows Server 2016, where I just want to make yourself comfortable for your certifications on Microsoft certifications on Windows Server 2016. And there are certain certifications we need to really focus on, which is 70-740, 70-741, and 70-742. Okay, so basically when we want to learn when we want to be a Windows administrator, so we need to put our steps somewhere, right? And if you are new, if you are first time want to learn about Windows Server 2016, no problem, we will be cruising through right from the beginning. So, and if you have experience and just to do a quick refresh and learn something new, so no problem, this is again a quick brush up where you will get something new on Windows Server 2016, and it will be a live session. So definitely, whenever you are having any questions, they will be answered live. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about the thing that what exactly we are going to cover in this whole course. So starting with that Windows Server 2016 installation and configuration. So we will be focusing on understanding how the first thing is whenever you there is a new platform come in, like Windows Server 2016 came in. So we will be convincing people and making them understand what are the new things which are available and why we should really go for 2016, right? It is okay that we can move ahead to a new version which is available by Microsoft, but the thing is why, right? How it is going to benefit? Because whenever we are just going for a new version, so probably we need to spend some money from our pocket, but still, if that is a worthwhile, definitely I will go for it, right? And in some cases I've seen that upgrading your skills not only it will give you a confidence in your um, career path while you are trying to attend the interviews. And there are certain things which asked in the interviews, because I am there in the interview panel as well. So I take interviews and I check very thoroughly that um, most of the people, the maximum numbers of the people, they are really out of touch. Okay, so they are only focused on the things which they are doing day to day activity and very limited stuff. But the thing is, when we want to really work upon and do something in a higher level, and we need to know the things, how the things works on. Okay, so the first thing is learning objective on Windows of 2016 installation and configuration. So we will be understanding on installing from the disk and image, what are the options and how we can do it. Then we will be discussing about using the desktop experience. Generally what happens is, when we try to deploy Windows of 2016, by default what happens is we install to a level which is a core version, and now as well we have another option which is a nano version, right? So we will see what are the benefits, why we should go for GUI, why we should not go for GUI, and where we can really help ourselves, limiting ourselves in setting up a core system. And when we are setting up a core system, then probably a Windows guy will say, okay, if we build a core system, then we are going to be in trouble, because there is no GUI. We need to use commands, and very few people in Windows administration that they love to work on commands, because the GUI is much faster. But frankly, I would like to let you know that the future, slowly and gradually, it is going to come to a level where you need to manage the systems in CLI based. Okay, so it is a time where you should upgrade yourself, and you should know at least there are some basic activities which are required to be done on the servers, okay, with the help of CLI. So if we move to the next level, then we will also understand that installing the Windows Server from the network, and we will working with command line for IPv4 and IPv6. NIC teaming, we also need to know that why the NIC teaming is required and how we can do it. We will also understand how we can do with how we can do NIC teaming with PowerShell, because the PowerShell is one of the tool set which we should really know, and I will be letting you know how you can really do it with PowerShell. Managing roles, installing and uninstalling the roles or removing the roles, how we can do it from GUI as well as from PowerShell. So we will try to understand that as well. Adding features, there are two things, right, in Windows Server 2016. One is adding roles and other features. So we need to understand what are roles, what are features, what exactly the difference is, why we will enable them, how to remove them, right? All the things we will be going to cover. um, we will also let you know how to do it from GUI as well as from PowerShell. Next section is working with virtual hard disk and remote volumes. So this Windows Server is coming with some storage services. Okay, so we will be understanding that as well. So I've put that particular section here to cover Windows Server to storage service. So it will be an advanced version of this one. So we will be understanding what are the storage features available, how we can really use them in Hyper-V. So I've also covered Hyper-V here. So if you see, like, working with computer management interface, formatting disk, and editing files from the command line. So command line, even Microsoft is also pushing you guys to really adopt the PowerShell nowadays, because PowerShell is one of the things which we should know and we should apply. So formatting a disk and editing the files from command line, this is one of the only tasks which you can see here, but there are several things we will do it with the PowerShell, and it is important, right? We also understand what is how we can set up, like, auditing, permissions. I've seen recently what happens is, if I come to a permission level, we have some backup stored in Windows storage server, and there was some tape out activity. So for that, what you need to do is we need to cut over to a new folder. Okay. So what happens is, when we need to cut over to the new folder, the people need to set up proper permission to be replicated there, right? And the engineer who tried to do it, so ultimately what happens is, when he tried to create a new folder, he was not able to put the permission, although what he have done is he have removed all the permission. Okay, and that resulted to a huge outage. So what happens is an P1 ticket, high priority ticket was opened due to that. So even permission looks to be very simple, but when you are doing it for a critical asset or a folder, it can be huge as well, right? So it is important that we should do it very correctly and in a systematic manner. We should know that what permission changes can impact, so that is also important to understand and know. So permission is important when we are working on a production environment. So it is a file server, it is a critical shared disk, so you should know how to do it, right? What are the permission steps if you do, and the permission can be removed. So then we will also understand dynamic access control, how we can do that, how we can configure it. Then data deduplication, which is there, how we can utilize it, how we can configure it. Storage for Hyper-V, that is again a good topic to discuss on, because everything is moving to virtualization, and the Hyper-V is one of the product which is being worked upon by Microsoft. So setting up distributed file system DFS is one of the favorite topic of mine, and recently I've done some migrations as well to newer version of DFS. So DFS is one of the important thing if you want to really hide the actual storage path of file storage, and you need to create a different link. So DFS is for specifically. And understanding the volume shadow copy, we have seen that when we take backup, there are several issues with VSS. So we need to understand what is VSS architecture and how the VSS works, and also RAID storage options. So what are the RAID storage options? Because when we are talking about Windows Server 2016 storage services, so RAID is one of the things we should also focus on. Okay, so let's move on to the next section, which is Hyper-V. That we all know that Hyper-V role, we will be discussing how we can configure it, how we can configure switches, how we can configure Hyper-V virtual machines, and we will also to see how we can really install the guest OS on top of Hyper-V. Managing checkpoints, what's are the checkpoints, how we can manage it, implementing storage migrations, implementing live migrations. We will see how we can do it, what are the things happening in the back end, what we need to take care of, how should be the architecture, how what are the best practices. Okay, so like moving to a level where we will say, okay, we will be pushing some services to a high availability. Then Windows Server 2016 high availability or a failover clustering, which is you should know about. So here we will be also covering like network load balancing as well as failover clustering. And to let you know how to manage the clusters, I will also try to help you out with some troubleshooting tips, which I've also seen to fix on clusters. Because talking about clusters is one of the favorite topic of mine, and in the industry, I'm having more than 14 years of experience, and in the industry I known by this Windows cluster, so I cannot forget it, because people recognize me especially with the cluster skills. And this is the one of the favorite topic I cannot really move out, and I definitely love to really help you out and understanding the new architecture and the features of failover clustering, which is there in Windows Server 2016. So we will be also interacting with Hyper-V clusters. We will see how we can build them, what are the things we should know, and then we will move to configure role specific settings, and then configure virtual machines monitoring. So which is also important. I strongly believe that there are some features in Hyper-V, they are really good, and when we are implementing them in our environment, that is again a very benefit for our client as well. So managing cluster movement, so we will also see what they are and how we can do. So it's all in all a quick package of Windows Server 2016 upgrade. So if you are new, that is not the issue. So you will learn something new, and it is important to upgrade yourself, and this is the time when we are sitting at home, and we must put ourselves and give some enhancement in our career path, right? So this is one of the thing I would like to suggest you, if you are eager enough to really learn and want to do something new, This is Windows Server 2016 skill set which you should really go for. We are going to set up some new courses as well, but right now this should be one of the focus area of yours if you want to be a Windows administrator. We are going to start right from the scratch, and I will let you know how the things can be managed, how you can really move forward and make your dream true for being a system administrator on Microsoft Windows. Okay, so if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer, and I'm just trying to pop out the chat here. So if anybody's having any questions, I'm happy to answer. But the thing is, learning sometimes self-learning is easy. I also believe in self-learning, but the thing is, when you have a mentor and who can really guide you through, so that is again a very valuable, and it is very important that you get a correct person who can really teach you, because I'm working more than like 14 years in IT industry, and I know how the things work in the real environment. So definitely, whenever you are asking some questions to me, I will capable enough to really answer them and provide you future support as well in case you are jumping to any further any further job route, right? So we will tell you that okay, these are, and one more thing, after really going through this whole course, it will be a live course. You are going to get a lifetime access to this Windows Server 2016 training program. Okay, and if you want to learn and you want to refer the classes which we had, so that is possible, and clearly you can really go ahead and get the videos and watch them again and again, so that you can learn something good, right? So Deepak, Prakash, thank you very much for being here. So thanks to you as well that you are here. um, See, services.msc to manage the services, but nowadays what I do is I don't use services.msc. I straight away use PowerShell. Okay, to manage any services, it's the best tool to really manage the things very easily. And as you know that I'm one of the laziest system admin, and I always love to use PowerShell, because if you want to manage any service, so use PowerShell from any management server, and you don't need to log into each and every server, and you can manage it very easily. Okay. So I will try, if you put on any specific question, I will try to create a video on that, and I will post. So no issue with that. So just put in the comments, and I will try to make a short video to cover your topic. So thank you very much, guys, for sticking to this end, and we will be starting a new beginning. So hope it is a happy learning for you all. So if you are interested, you can join in, and if you have any views, if you have any questions, you are welcome. You can shoot out in the comment section. I will be happy to answer them. And thank you very much to be here, right? And if you are new, please subscribe my channel and share it as well. If you find that okay, this channel is going to help us in some way, so definitely it is can also help other people as well, right? So if you just hit sharing button, then definitely it's going to help a lot. Okay, so thank you very much for supporting me and being with me. So see you in the next video, and thank you very much again.